Is the most inappropriate clothing you have seen a student wear at school? 1. I was in grade 8. There was a girl in our class whose father was an alcoholic, and whose mother was no longer in the picture. She was never the best dressed girl in class. She saved up her pennies and bought a used sewing machine. One day she came into class with the first new skirt I had seen her wear. She was so proud of it. It was so sad. It was noticeably shorter than the school dress code, and it was so tight, she had to waddle in it. I was afraid it was going to rip a seam. I felt so sorry for her. She was doing everything she could to fit in and it wasn't working. The school let her wear it for the rest of the day, but she couldn't wear it again. She got pregnant the next year and I never saw her again. 2. Working at a community college in the 90s. I dealt with a whole lot of teenagers who had gone to small rural schools and this was their first time meeting lots of new people. One young lady came in wearing a ripped up t-shirt with a different color sports bra under it and cut off jean shorts that were really short and ragged. I just had to mention her clothes since she was in business classes and it turned out she was really poor. I spoke with the head of the department and he pulled $20 from his own pocket and by the end of the next day, I had over $300, large department. So I found her and we went to the local thrift store where $30 would garner me several outfits for work, decent jeans and all kinds of good stuff. After finding enough for a full week of classes and then some, for less than $100, I spent an additional $75 for clothes for her younger brother and sister and a Sunday dress for mom. I ended up taking her home since she missed her ride and saw where she lived when I helped her carry everything in. The place was small but as neat and clean as they could make it and her mom was floored over what we brought in. Along with clothes, the thrift store gave me 2 boxes of food, including milk and fruit. It seems this was a turning point for them since the father had just gotten a decent job and the food carried them to his first paycheck. He had been laid off a few months earlier. The girl was very grateful and so were all of them and a couple years later the son came to the college. Scholarships paid for all 3 kids so very bright. And I hear the younger sister became a nurse after she attended 2 years there and then to university. Oh, the remainder of the money was used to start a fund for future students in the same predicament so sometimes inappropriate clothes actually lead to good things. 3. I was teaching an introduction to calculus class for summer school at Brea Olinda High School, in Brea, California. The first day of class I watched as the students filed into the classroom, 1 or 2 at the time, nearly 70% of the seats had occupants. Suddenly, I watched as a 6-foot-tall young girl enter the classroom, wearing 4-inch heels, along with a tiny pair of cut-off jeans that exposed her navel down to her crotch, and a halter top 3 sizes too small for her girth. All banter and chatter ceased as she found a seat and silently opened her textbook and her notepad. As I called the roll, the students would answer up and I would move on to the next name on the enrollee list. I presented the materials the class will cover over the next 6 weeks, after which I dismissed the class, with the exception of the young girl previously mentioned. She came to the front of the class and immediately apologized for her wardrobe. She told me that she was 18 years old and 5 days a week she was the greeter at a gentleman's club. I politely asked her to please bring a change of clothing to her job and change before entering the next class meeting. She graduated from Loma Linda High School in June of that year. However, University of California Irvine noted that she had neither taken nor passed introduction to calculus. I agreed to let her stay in the class provided she was properly dressed. The principal of the high school asked me if I had met the young lady taking my class. He further said that she was her class